How do anthropologists unmask invisible power structures? Imagine trying to see the wind. It's invisible, but you can feel its effects. Anthropologists do something similar with power. They look for signs of how power influences everyday life, even when it's not obvious. They don't just focus on laws or leaders, but also on how people act, speak, and follow cultural norms. One key method they use is ethnography. This means living among people for a long time and observing how they behave in daily routines. They pay attention to small things like language, rituals, and social roles. These details reveal how power is built into everyday interactions and cultural practices. For example, who gets to speak first in a meeting or who is expected to serve food can show underlying power relations. Anthropologists also use theories that explain indirect forms of power. Concepts like hegemony show how one group's worldview becomes accepted as normal. Cultural capital refers to social assets like education or manners that give people advantages. Governmentality looks at how knowledge and institutions shape how people govern themselves without direct orders. These ideas help anthropologists understand how power is maintained through consent and social norms, not just through force. They also study how identities like gender, ethnicity, and social class connect to power. For instance, they examine how marginalized groups resist or adapt to dominant systems. This reveals the emotional and unconscious ways power influences people's lives. Colonial histories are also important because they show how past events shape current social hierarchies and power dynamics. Another way anthropologists uncover hidden power is by analyzing knowledge itself. They look at who gets to speak, what stories are told, and whose voices are silenced. This helps reveal biases and the influence of dominant groups on what is considered true or normal. In political and economic anthropology, this work is especially important. It shows how power affects who controls resources, makes decisions, and benefits from social systems. By exposing these hidden structures, anthropologists can help challenge unfair systems and promote social change. So, in essence, anthropologists uncover invisible power by living with people, listening carefully, and applying theories that explain how power works beyond what we see on the surface. They reveal how power shapes lives in ways that are often unnoticed but deeply felt.